I started 22 businesses in 5 years, and only 2 of them made 7 figures, and here's why. For years, I kept hearing, focus, you need to focus. Focus is everything. But I didn't really get it. So I did the opposite. I had the entrepreneurial convulsion where I entertained every idea that I thought could possibly make money and tried to launch it. So I ended up with 22 businesses in the first 5 years I was in business. Only 15 of them made at least a single dollar. Only 7 of them made over 6 figures, and 4 of them made multiple 6 figures, and only 2 of them made 7 figures. But only 1 reached its full potential. Why? Because I got rid of all the other businesses and started focusing on just one of them. Then I realized my focus was still torn in multiple directions, even in this one business. Because I didn't have focus and I was just dealing with fires as they came up, I was actually more reactive than I was proactive. So when I had time, I sat there really wondering like, oh, what should I be doing next? And I was, watching YouTube videos, doing this. Not that it's bad watching YouTube videos. I got a lot out of a lot of things, but I never had like a real 30,000 foot view, like marketing strategy, like I'm going to go over with you in this video. But I'd see different strategies and I'd pull little nuggets from each one, but that wasn't working together. It was like, I should do 3 posts a day on Facebook. I should do an email newsletter. Like none of that works together to create a cohesive marketing strategy that actually is going to get you more leads in the door, right? So I'd sit there wondering what to do. I'd get that shiny object syndrome and I'd be off researching a new tool, researching a new strategy, and I'd spend days, sometimes weeks or months if I ended up coming across a coaching program and I'd jump into that. So I did a lot of work. I had a lot of to-do lists. I checked off a lot of things, but my business wasn't actually moving forward. And then I learned about the 3 success systems. And once I implemented them, not only did I reach 7 figures on my current business, but I also did it by working way less time. So if you've ever felt that way, like you've done a million things, you've done everything you think you need or should have done, but you can see and feel that your business actually isn't making any progress, then stick around and watch this video. I'm going to show you what worked for me. Because once I understood these 3 success systems, I knew exactly what I needed to focus on. And what you focus on grows. I was also able to identify what stage was I actually in those 3 success systems. So I knew what to focus on, and I also knew what roles I should hire for based on the stage that I was in. So in a second, I'm going to share my screen and show you the growth matrix that includes these 3 success systems. And trust me, doing them in the right order matters. I had to learn that the hard way. I tried doing all the things in a totally different order, nothing cohesive, and it cost me a lot of time, a lot of money, and lost opportunity from that time that I'll never get that time back. I mean, I could be in a totally different position now. It's like, if I knew then what I knew now, things would be totally different, right? But thank God I'm a forever optimist, so I know that I'm in the right place. It's perfect. Everything is the way it's meant to be, but it's what am I doing today? What am I focusing on today? Today's actions is what matters, not the past. So just saying, don't dwell on the past. It happened. There's nothing we could do about it. Just focused on the moment. So this first system here, number 1, the new customer acquisition system. This is the foundation for everything. Without it, nothing else matters. I remember when I was running my agency, my coach asked me, hey, Jeremy, how many leads do you get on every month on average? And I was like, I was basically getting everybody from referrals. So I was like, I don't know. And he told me something that really hurt. I really hated it when I heard it, but he was absolutely right. He said, Jeremy, then if you don't know how many leads you're getting every single month on average, you don't have a business, you have a hobby. And that was a wake-up call for me. I knew at that moment in time, I had to have a predictable way to generate leads so I could create predictable revenue. So over the years, I developed this system. And again, the very first part here, if you look at it like this section here, this is the complete customer life cycle. And this is what I mean. Like, instead of focusing on like little like things that you hear here and there about some marketing strategy, like, I need a webinar, or, I need to grow my Instagram channel. Like there's a lot of things out there that are good, but it has to be a complete 30,000 foot view system to take somebody, take a cold person that has no idea who you are, to be able to get in front of them, educate them to the place where they actually become a lead, to a place where they actually become a customer, and from the point where they become a customer to the point where they become a raving fan. Like, you want to think about that from beginning to end. And that way, you know what to actually focus on, and everything that you do ties in together to take people through this journey to where you're getting many, many reviews and case studies that are only going to, number one, help you get more business, because the more case studies and reviews that you have, the more people are going to trust you off the bat. When you have somebody that doesn't know who you are, like, there's a level of trust that needs to be built, and there's nothing better or faster than somebody that is not you saying how awesome you are. So this is the complete customer journey. So what I like to do is number one here is the new customer acquisition system. That's this portion here. So when I first started out, I was trying to be everything to everyone. I knew that, and just part of this this portion here, the part of the perfect customer or the complete customer journey here is I had to find out where my people were. Right? I needed a target market, and I need to find out where that target market is hanging out. Were they hanging out in Google? Were they hanging out on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook? Maybe I could drive traffic through SEO to my website, maybe a podcast or emails or, affiliate marketing or whatever, right? I got to figure out who my people are and where they're hanging out. But beforehand, like, what I realized, like, what I was trying to do was, like, I work with entrepreneurs. I help them generate leads, right? Like, that's so broad. And the mindset that kind of like kept me there was, I need a big audience. I need to get in front of as many people as possible. And a lot of people still have that mindset. What I try to teach them is, do I want an audience of 1 million people where I get one customer a year? Or would I rather have an audience of 1,000 people and get 100 customers a year? Really, I don't give a crap about the audience size. I care about the amount of customers I get a year. So I'd rather have 100 than one. Right? Everybody would say that. But we have a really hard time when we're looking at our own business to create what I call a subatomic niche, because a niche is entrepreneurs, sure, but that's so broad. Like, if I put out a message to entrepreneurs, I help entrepreneurs, it's so vague and so broad that it's not going to touch, move, and inspire anyone. It's not going to resonate with anybody. It's not going to call out anybody. So what I ended up doing is creating a subatomic niche. I went to, all right, I deal with business, I deal with entrepreneurs. All right. More specifically, I deal with digital agencies. More specifically, I deal with digital agencies that utilize Infusionsoft, which is now Keep. I dealt with entrepreneurs that were digital agency owners that used Infusionsoft with their clients, that have dealt with the frustrations of outsourcing overseas. Like, that's 3 levels down, entrepreneurs. So 3 levels below just entrepreneurs. So that when I put out a marketing message that was like, hey, digital agency owners, if you're using Infusionsoft and you have tried to outsource some of the work overseas and have dealt with X, Y, and Z, you want to listen to this message. So what I did there was, number one, I outlined my subatomic niche, and then I put one pain point that they're dealing with. Sure, they're dealing with hundreds of problems and pain points like all of us, right? But, and this is the theme of this whole video, is focus, right? I had to focus on one business. I had to focus on one smaller niche. I had to focus on one problem, because if I'm talking about multiple problems, it's not going to resonate. I need to be really specific. So again, this goes the opposite of how our brains think. My brain was like, we're missing out on business by freaking narrowing down our marketing. But in reality, when people saw it, they freaking were like, I'm an agency owner. I deal with Infusionsoft. I tried outsourcing and it sucked. Like, that's me. And when somebody goes, that's me, and they're like, I'm dealing with this problem, and they have a solution to that problem, I'm going to spend the next 5 minutes. I'll invest 5 minutes listening to what this person has to say. Right? And that's why it's so important to have that focus, creating a subatomic niche and going after just one pain point. That's the marketing angle. Just one marketing angle, one pain that you're solving. right? And just talk about that over and over and over again. But then you have to pick a lead source. Where are they hanging out? Like what I always like to break down is, do I need leads now? Do I need customers now? Like, do I need them fast? Or can I take some time to get them? The other distinction is, what's my budget? Like, do I have thousands of dollars to throw towards paid ads? Or do I need to go a little bit more organic where I'm putting in sweat equity? So I kind of look at those things. So for the most part, in this beginning stage here where you're like, what traffic source here should I be using, right? For me, it's like, okay, I don't have any money. I could learn SEO and I could drive traffic directly to my website by learning SEO and putting in the work myself. Or I could focus on social media and I could do a ton of posts every single day and it's free, but I'm doing something. And what I found with those traffic sources is that they take a really long time to actually convert somebody into a paying client. And a lot of people just don't have that time. They're like, I'm in business. I need money now. I need new clients now. But I'll tell you, like YouTube and SEO, those are like long-term strategies. But the cool thing about them compared to social media is that whatever you do gains power over time. Where a social media post, I do that today, and after 2 weeks, nobody's ever going to see that. Right? So it's like the work that I put in is going to grow and help me get better, right? But those take a long time. On the flip side of that, you could go with paid ads, like Facebook and Instagram ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, all different types of traditional paid advertising. But that paid advertising is going to get you a result faster. But again, it costs money. So it's kind of like that teeter-totter, right? It's like, if I don't have money, then the lead source strategy is going to take longer. If I have money, I can do a lead source strategy that's going to be quicker. Now, here's a caveat to this. There's something in the middle. It's something I really hated at first. I actually didn't do it for a very long time because I didn't want to be seen as a guy that bothered people, but it's cold outreach. So for not that much money, I can do cold email, cold LinkedIn, cold DMing and social media. And I just had to get to a place where like, I need to feed my family. I don't care what other people think. And when I got to that place, I was able to do those marketing strategies for little to no money, but I got pretty quick results. So it's like kind of a one in the middle. And you just got to pick which one's going to work for you. And here's the thing. No matter what marketing strategy you do, they all work. You just have to put the time into it. Again, like I talked about before, like we all want a silver bullet in our business. What's going to fix our business? What's going to fix it fast? But in reality, there is no silver bullet. There is no trick. It's just work. You got to pick a marketing strategy. All the strategies work. You just got to put your time into it and be patient and look and collect data, look at it and make tweaks and retry. Tweak, retry, tweak, retry. You got to keep doing it over and over again until one hits. And when it does, we'll talk about that in a second here. But this is what we need to do. We need to figure out who our target market is, figure out the one pain point we're talking about, figure out which lead source we're going to do. And then the marketing message is talking to that audience, to that pain point, right in front of them. If it's Facebook, it's a post. If it's YouTube, it's a video. If it's a cold email, then it's an email. We're getting that message in front of them and we're attracting them in, with some type of opt-in. Like, hey, go download this thing that's going to help you with this problem. And now you have a lead that you can follow up with. So right when they come in and opt in, they're in your funnel now. And that's why this is like designed like a funnel, right? So now they're in your funnel and they might go all the way through and buy. Right? 20% would probably do that. The rest aren't. And there's a study that shows that 80% of people that show interest in something today, they're going to make a purchasing decision at some point within the next 12 months. So you want in 12 months them to remember who you are and how to get in touch with you. And you do that by follow-up. Now, most of us don't have the time to sit there and follow up with people religiously all over. So we got systems and tools for that, right? So once we get that opt-in, we want to drive them to some type of education, like whether it's a webinar or maybe a VSL video or a blog post or a YouTube video or something that is going to take them from being interested in this one thing to being educated in the topic they're interested in. And at the same time, they get to know you, who you are, what you do, why you're the best. Creates that know, like, and trust factor, right? To where they're like, oh, I see this guy around. Like they know what's up, right? So they're educated in this part of the funnel. And then we're following up with them at least for the next 12 months till they buy or die, baby. buy or die, baby. And then, if it's a high ticket, we're going to basically book a call here. And then from the call, they're going to buy, right? And that's the first part. We need to focus on this. You don't move forward. You don't pass go. You don't collect $200. That's a Monopoly reference. You freaking focus on this first, and that's it, dude. That's it. Everything else is a waste of time. It's shiny object syndrome. There's a Bible verse that says like they're forever learning, but never able to come to the knowledge. And I found that I myself got sucked into that, where we're just whether it's like self-confidence or imposter syndrome. It's like we know what to do. At some point, we know what to do. We've got enough education, enough training. We worked with enough people. We watched enough YouTube videos. We just need to implement and tweak and test and tweak and test until it freaking works. So we know your focus. If you have leads coming in and then that's not your focus. Step 2 is going to be your focus. We'll talk about that in a second. If you're like, hey, I need money, I need revenue, I don't have predictable revenue, I'm on that feast or famine roller coaster, your solution to your problem is the new customer acquisition system. And the first step of that is to create a subatomic niche. Find one problem you're going to talk about. Find one lead source that you're going to use to get in front of those people, and then create something that's going to give them value for free and get that opt-in, and then educate them with a webinar. Now, ironically, a webinar can literally be the opt-in. And it can also be the education tool, or you can get them to opt into, get a free checklist or a free cheat sheet or a free download or something, something that actually gives them value, not some BS. Because if they give you their email in today's market, and they don't get value, they're never going to listen to you again. So make sure it's something that's actually going to help them, and then educate them. I like VSL videos because in today's, market, they have a short attention span. With that short attention span, how many people want to schedule a webinar and I got to remember to show up for that on Wednesday, 2 weeks from now. You know what I mean? Instead it's I'm interested now, boom, video pops up. Hey, blah, 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 boom, they're educated right then and there. I know I'm making that a little bit simplistic, but when they watch that video and then they're getting followed up if they don't book a call, and then if they do book a call, great. And then you got sales calls, you got predictable sales calls coming in. And for predictable sales calls, you got predictable sales, because no matter how bad you are at sales, it's a numbers game. You will close deals even if you suck at sales. It's a numbers game. So that's the first part. You need to drive traffic, get opt-ins, educate and follow up, and then close those deals. And until you have this humming along, like I said, you're going to create something and you're going to launch it, and it's going to fail. You're going to get crickets, but you got to tweak and test, right? And then you get something that finally hits and you're like, yeah, this is great. Now you could focus on system number 2, which is the new client onboarding success system. This is what is going to, number 1, keep them as clients. And number 2, it's going to create raving fans, which is going to help you get more clients as you start implementing these case studies in your front end marketing, content, and education. Just to give you an example, when I implemented this in my business, it all starts right here, taking the credit card. The payment has gone through, and immediately, right when they hit submit, their credit card goes through, a page pops up. And it's a welcome video from me saying, hey, thank you. Welcome to the family. Here's what you can expect. Here's what you need to do next. You need to click that button and fill out your onboarding form. And after your onboarding form, you'll schedule your onboarding call. And right now you can start, submitting requests or whatever, right? So there's a little welcome video there, and they fill out the onboarding form. They hit submit. We collected a lot of data right off the bat, so we don't have to ask them a ton of questions, waste their time on that onboarding call. And then they hit submit. It goes to a page where they can click a day that works for them, a time that works for them. They schedule it with their account manager, and their account manager has this onboarding call with them where they teach them how to use our service, how to get the most out of the service, and they teach them how to delegate, and they go over what their plans are, what they have on their plate, and help them, submit their first request, their first ticket. What's the first thing we're going to work on for you? That all happens on that phone call. Then they have that support of that account manager if they ever get stuck on anything, if anything's broken, or if anything's not working, or if something bad happens and they're like, hey, what's going on with this? Or if they have a big project that they're like, hey, I want to submit this big project, but I need a little bit of help. I don't know how to outline it specifically. The account manager is able to help them. So we have this huge support system between group calls with me, the account managers, and then all the team members that are doing all the work for them, right? We have this huge support system so that they have a great experience. And that's the first part. That's the deliver and wow. Right there, deliver and wow. And then we have like a automated follow-up system like we have in the new customer acquisition system for 12 months. And we got milestones. So at certain points we go, we really love referrals. We live off referrals, probably just like you do. If you had a good experience, do you know anybody that could benefit from our service? And because it's not a human asking, nobody forgets. Nobody doesn't ask because they feel awkward about it. It religiously is asking for a referral. So our referrals increased. And then we asked for, at a certain point in time, we asked, how their experience is going. And we continue asking and continue to stay in touch because we want to hear from them and what's going on and what their experience is like. Because if it's bad, we need to address it right away. We need to fix it and we need to learn from it so it doesn't happen again. And we continue to make our system better from that feedback from our own clients. And then we ask for reviews. We ask them to jump on case study interviews automatically. It's like, hey, click here and schedule a case study interview. And boom, I just get interviews on my calendar. I don't have to do anything. It just pops up. I jump on the call, I hit record, I ask my questions, and then I got a cool other system I won't talk about right here, but I take that video and I upload it to some AI and it creates the content for my case study page. And, I send it to my editor and then the editor takes that and gets it everything to the developer and they get it up on the page, right? It's like bada boom, bada bing, bada bang. It's done. Most of it's automated. And then from there, we're able to introduce them to other services we have. We're able to upsell them, cross-sell them, or whatever. And that is the new client onboarding system. When I have predictable lead flow coming in to my business, I need to make sure that there's no holes in my bucket with them leaving because they're not having a good experience. And when that is complete, and I'm talking about utilizing systems and people to make sure that they have a good experience, then I just completed the second part. I got predictable lead flow and I got very happy customers. Now I can focus on the third one, which is the operation success system. And that's where we take what's working and we scale that. As an example, so at first we had a subatomic niche, right? And we were going after just one problem. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that whole marketing campaign, but I'm going to talk about a different problem. And then I'm going to duplicate that system and I'm going to talk about another problem. I'm going to duplicate that and talk about another problem. And then I'm going to go after another audience, right? Just because I pick one subatomic niche, I'm not committed to that forever. I can actually create other ones. And then I'll talk about one problem and then another problem and then another problem. Then I'll go after another niche and I'll talk about one problem and then one problem and then one problem. Next thing you know, I got tens of marketing campaigns out there generating predictable lead flow, and which is a lot faster and a lot easier because I've already learned what got that first one going. So I'm able to get other ones up faster and tested faster and easier and get them successful faster. So now I got a great influx of new leads, new customers. I'm able to bring on more team members to help facilitate. So I'm taking time off of my plate for the work, which I'll cover again in the next video, the hiring matrix. And then I'm looking at my systems, like what technology can I use that's going to save time on the front end? What systems can I use on the back end? So if I hire a salesperson, right? If I have a CRM with marketing automation for this follow-up here, that if they click on this, then this happens. If they click on this, then this happens. If they don't click on anything, then this happens, right? Like creating a spider web of content based on what actions the person is taking increases your close rate. So being able to implement new systems on the front end like that, and then systems on the back end. Maybe you got like a project management software or a ticketing software. Maybe you got on the front end for your appointments, you implement a calendar system like Calendly or something like that. All these little things that save you and your team time so that you could be more efficient and you could focus on bigger things that are going to help you actually move the needle in your business. So when I start utilizing the operation success system, I'm looking at different softwares to use. I'm documenting all of my processes to create standard operating procedures. That way, like anybody can do a certain part of the job. A new hire comes in, we just plug them into the SOP. It takes less time of somebody training them. Like you end up becoming more efficient absolutely every aspect of your business. And again, I'm going to cover in the hiring metrics that like, if you're in phase number 1, here's the hires that you hire, and here's the roles that you still have to do as the business owner. You got to do those in order, just like doing step 1, 2, and 3 here in order, or it's going to cost you a lot of time and money like it did me. When you're in phase number 2, All right, here's the people that you're going to hire here. And here's the roles that you still need to do. And once you get to phase number 3, it's like, all right, you're able to hire this person, this person, this person. And next thing you know, you are like a true CEO with strategic partnerships and overseeing the overall marketing message and content creation. But you have team members that are doing absolutely everything. And that gets you to a place where you finally go from being self-employed to having a business asset that, number one, provides for you even if you're sick for a month at a time. It's happened to me. And also, if you want to exit, you have a business that's already built that somebody's going to pay a lot more money for than if they have to come in and like do work and manage. Like if they can just come in and invest money and they don't have to do any work because you have all the people in place, like that makes the business way more profitable. So the biggest mistake I've made in my business, and also that I see other entrepreneurs make, is that they're not focusing on any one of these 3 success systems. And they're kind of like playing pin the tail on the donkey with their marketing strategy. And they're just all over the place with shiny object syndrome, hoping that they can find some silver bullet to help save their business instead of focusing on one thing and doing the work necessary before you move on to step 2. So doing them out of order cost me a lot of time and money. Like I remember at one point I was so focused on, I didn't even know it was the new customer onboarding success system, but I was like, we need this process absolutely, man. And I didn't even have any leads coming in, dude. Like, where were they going to go? Who was going to go into it? I mean, I don't know. I was just focusing on the wrong thing. I didn't know what I didn't know. It wasn't my fault. It's not your fault if you're in this particular dilemma right now. It's not your fault. We don't know what we don't know. The goal is to learn and take action and repeat. That's it. And when you look at this and you see step 1 and step 2 and step 3, it's almost like building a business is like building a house. You have to lay the foundation first, which is the new customer acquisition system. Then you got to build the walls, which is the new client onboarding success system. And then you got to put the roof on, which is the operation success system. And if you did those out of order while building a house, like you're not going to have a house. So that's the growth matrix and the 3 success systems that transformed my business from a stressful hustle to a scalable and profitable enterprise. And in the next video, I am going to cover that hiring matrix that I was talking about earlier, so you can see what roles to hire and in what order based on the stage that you're in. And if this video has helped you, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you can see the next video that I release. And if you know someone that could benefit from this video, don't hesitate, don't wait, just go ahead and share it with them right now. And if you're ready to build your dream team, then click on the link in the description, how insourcing beats outsourcing 100% of the time. And I will see you in the next video.